day everyone. So we are here in another video lecture to talk about international financial institutions. There are actually a lot of categories in the list, but we're going to talk about and elaborate World Bank in this video. So what comes into your mind when you hear World Bank? When I hear the word World Bank, I think of a bank that allows every country to borrow money. Yes, you're on track.
With thousands of employees in 189 member countries, the World Bank is one of the most powerful institutions of the world, funneling billions of dollars every year into ending global poverty. What exactly is the World Bank and how did it get so powerful? Well, the World Bank, unlike the many other international organizations, was created in the aftermath of World War II. In 1944, as the war was coming to an end, Allied nations, including the United States, United Kingdom, created the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, or IBRD, to rebuild Europe. In 1497, this bank issued its first loan to France, which had been heavily bombed during the war, and financed similar initiatives throughout the 1940s and 50s. Eventually, the IBRD became known somewhat as the World Bank, since it has expanded to a closely associated group of 5 development institutions. In the early 1970s, as post-war reconstruction was winding down, the World Bank shifted its focus to reducing global poverty. Instead of funding only construction projects, like building dams and generating electricity, the bank oversaw programs related to food production, health, nutrition, and development, all addressing poor countries. By the early 1980s, the World Bank was not only made up of finance and infrastructure experts, like economists and engineers, but also society-focused experts like anthropologists and social scientists. These experts not only collaborate on infrastructure projects, but work with local governments and policies and institutions that would bring people out of poverty. In the past 45 years, the World Bank objectives have largely remained unchanged. The bank's 2 stated goals are to reduce extreme poverty, that is, people living on less than roughly $2 a day, and to raise incomes of the poorest 40% of the population. It plans to do this by issuing low-interest loans and low to zero-interest credits and grants to developing countries. The World Bank gets its funds by selling bonds to investors, collecting subscription fees from members, governments, and net earnings from its assets. The organizations that make up the World Bank Group are owned by the governments of member nations, which have the ultimate decision-making power within the organizations on all matters, including policy, financial, or membership issues. The World Bank is also made up of Board of Executive Directors. They are the ones who have the power or authority to choose World Bank's president. And currently, World Bank's current president is President David Malpass. Now, you might wonder, which country or which part of the world is the World Bank's headquarters located? The World Bank's headquarters can be found or seen in Washington, D.C., United States. So while the bank remains a noble entity working to end global poverty, it seems it has its own problems to fix as well. The World Bank was created in tandem with the International Monetary Fund, and the 2 financial institutions often work hand in hand. Now that we're over with World Bank, let's get to know IMF until our next video lecture. Thank you for sticking in, and goodbye everyone.